Oh! Man. Who's there?
There's like faces like peeling.
Oh! Oh my god, there's whistling. There's whistling, dude. There's something.
Camping can be fun, but sometimes things go wrong. Many people during camping have had strange encounters that shocked the living daylight out of them. And while most just tell the tales, some of these disturbing encounters have been caught on camera. So if you're ready, come with us as we show you how unpredictable living in the wild can be.
Good morning. Outside the back of a yuppie tennis court with a couple of Chelsea tractors.
The broken glass. In February 2024, a stealth camper, Brendan, uploaded a video on his YouTube channel, Brendan Explores. It was a video showing a weird and unsettling experience he had while camping in Jaywick, England.
Someone's outside the back. Hey! Right, after traipsing around for the last 20 minutes to half hour trying to find a spot, there's a quiet little park up at the end here, maybe. This'll do me.
At first, everything was going as it was supposed to, and it would have turned out like any other camping trip until something unexpected happened. Brendan trusted his gut instincts and looked for a place he thought would be safer. He finally found a spot. Brendan probably settled for this spot because it was becoming dark. After bidding his viewers a good night, he was woken up by a noise.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here.
For a place that was supposedly nice and quiet, that was scary. The attacker left, and Brendan was able to step out of the van. Fortunately, he was able to safely get out of the area. He gave his viewers an update in the morning. Here's what he said.
Before I ended that video, as you can see, I didn't film a huge amount towards the end, but what happened directly after the last clip? Well, to say I was scared, you-know-whatless, would be an understatement. I wasn't exactly concentrating on, should I film this, should I film that, so there wasn't really a lot to film afterwards. I just, quite frankly, just wanted to go home. I was really, I wasn't in a good mind space. After cleaning a little bit of broken glass from my driver's seat and the dashboard, you'd be surprised how far glass goes when it smashes. I've been finding little bits everywhere, but the van was in no fit state to continue camping in, and
all Brendan suffered from that incident was broken glass and a fear of quiet and lonely spaces. I think he was lucky because that could have gone a lot worse. The moving chain. In 2021, a video was uploaded by Matt Fields, a YouTuber. This video shows Matt spending the night in a dark cave in the middle of nowhere in Australia. You might wonder what made him do that. It was a dare.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder.
Matt's friend told him about the weird experience he had in the cave and dared Matt to spend a night there. As Matt went deeper into the cave, he started to hear weird noises. It seemed like an animal was in the cave. At a point in the video, Matt said he felt like he was being watched. While he was eating, things got creepier.
You climb down into this cave it's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even fork up. Holy.
According to Matt, that chain could not have moved without somebody or something moving it. It wasn't the wind, as it wasn't a windy night at the time. You can hear the chain rattle loudly. The fear was evident on his face as he realized he was not alone in the cave.
And I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound, and I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours.
Matt could not bear it anymore, so he decided to leave the cave. The creepy noises later faded out, so Matt decided to spend the rest of the night near the cave entrance. Later that night, Matt heard some hissing noises that supposedly sounded like humans, so he looked around the cave. He found nothing. What do you think could have been making those noises? Matt somehow made it through the night. He definitely will not be going back to that cave again. The people in the woods. In January 2025, a video was uploaded on the YouTube channel The Northwest Wind that showed Sam, the owner of the channel, on one of his stealth camping adventures. This time, Sam went to Cleveland. As a stealth camper, he of course left his camping van behind and walked to a forest a few hundred yards away. Sam saw the shredded tent, which was creepy, but he decided it was not creepy enough to stop him. He continued into the woods until he saw a spot good enough to set up camp.
I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
After setting up camp and cooking dinner, Sam saw a couple of people pass by him. The sun had set, and according to Sam, these people made him feel like he was in danger. But this wasn't still enough to get Sam to leave the woods. After getting cozy in his tent, Sam was about to call it a day when something creepy happened. Sam was shaken and waited under bated breath for the footsteps to go away, but they didn't.
Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. Hello?
After a while, Sam called out to whoever was outside the tent, but he did not get a reply until about his 5th attempt. The reply was more of a reaction, and it caused a shiver to run down his spine.
I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? You're with me.
Not like I am an expert or anything, but was opening the tent the best idea? You have to appreciate his bravery. Anything could have been out there, or worse, anyone.
They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just...
Some say the thing you should fear the most when in the woods is other people. Sam left the tent to discover that the people taunting him were a few feet away inside the woods. They just stood there and watched him. At this point, Sam had gotten spooked and agitated. He finally caved in and decided to head back to his van. But things got worse. As Sam hurriedly left, he looked back to see those people stealing the things he left behind. They did not stop there. They started chasing him.
It's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I don't see or hear anybody.
Sam finally got back to his van and arrived home safely. People in his comments section have accused Sam of staging the video, but I think the fear in his voice was pretty genuine. What do you think? The Stranger. A video uploaded on the Grizzly Gaz YouTube channel in April 2023 shows Grizzly Gaz on one of his many camping expenditures. Gaz is a YouTuber known for camping in mostly unfavorable conditions, and he usually uploads this on his channel, so this video was not any different at first. This time, he went camping in the woods somewhere in the UK. The trip is going as planned as he finds a spot and sets up camp. As the sun began to set, Gaz started to prepare dinner.
Bit of ribeye, pot boiling for some mash, and I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. Me pants. This is Martin anyway. A steak, so...
He was approached by a stranger who asked for some steak and beer. Meeting a stranger in the woods would probably creep out several people, but not Gaz. If a stranger told you they were a creep, what would be your reaction? Would you laugh carefreely like Gaz, or would you get your guard up? Later on in the video, Gaz talked about getting to know Martin over a steak dinner. He said Martin told him about how he ruined his life with drugs and ended up homeless. He apparently ended up wandering in the woods that day. Gaz further talked about something strange that occurred. While he turned around to get more wood for the fire, Martin disappeared without a word. At this point, Gaz started getting worried. It finally dawned on him that Martin was a complete stranger, and they did not suddenly become pals over a steak dinner. He decided to leave the campsite in case Martin came back with ill intentions. To confirm his suspicions, before he left, Gaz put up a trail camera to record anything that happened in the area while he was gone. Gaz returned to the site to find his trail camera had gone missing. So, Martin had indeed come back. Luckily, he did not meet Gaz at the site, or who knows what might have happened. The mannequins. This video was uploaded in March 2023.
We just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Without
Falling over. Look at the one on the ladders.
It features a father-daughter duo, Gary and Amika, on a trip to Tentsmuir Forest, northeast Fife in Scotland. What was supposed to be a normal camping trip turned out to be something else when Amika heard voices nearby while they were taking a walk in the woods. They decided to check it out and came upon a disturbing scene. As if creepy mannequins playing dress-up weren't already weird enough, they also discovered some paintings that were anything but ordinary. I am not sure why anyone would build this terrifying scene, but they sure made a lot of effort to make it look as unsettling as possible. Gary and Amika made the wise decision to leave and were on their way out when something else happened. A car started coming towards them, and it freaked Gary out. Luckily, they were able to get back to their cabin unscathed by whatever was in the woods. Do you think something sinister lies beneath those mannequins and paintings, or were they just the creations of a peculiar artist? The Howl, Will, a YouTuber, usually uploads videos of his camping trips on his channel. On one of these camping trips, he experienced something that was anything but normal. In January 2021, he was camping in Box Hill, a forested area in the southwest of London, and it was going well until it wasn't. To Will, Box Hill is a familiar area. He used to come there with his parents before. He felt comfortable there, but this trip turned out to be unlike any he had enjoyed in Box Hill before. After taking a walk with a friend, Will was starving and decided to cook dinner.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep.
By the time they started, it was already sunset. After enjoying a delicious dinner and giving his viewers a detailed update on the new items he got, Will decided to call it a day, but it didn't go quite as planned. The unsettling howl was coming from people about 100 meters from Will's campsite. Will said they were playing music and screaming, but that did not sound like a fun night out to me. Fortunately, Will made it through the night. He managed to sleep after about an hour and 45 minutes of listening to those scary noises. Will attributes the noises to some kids having fun. What do you think? Did that sound like people having fun or people conducting some kind of ritual? The knock. In June 2022, a video was uploaded on the YouTube channel, Work Less, Enjoy Life More. It shows Larry, an RV YouTuber, camping in an undisclosed location. Everything seemed normal. His dogs played around in the forest while he filmed.
Stress, a lot less anxiety, and I get to hang out and sleep in places like this that people only wait for weekends to go do on rare occasions, sometimes not at all.
Larry talked about how life has gotten easier and how he has less anxiety since he sold his businesses and started working part-time. Before you think of joining this RV camper, know that this trip did not end as beautifully as it started. Larry was preparing dinner when he heard the first knock. He listened quietly for signs of anyone out there. Deciding that this might not be a jolly fellow asking for a beer, Larry turned off the light in the RV. He started to hear footsteps outside. The person outside was not making any sounds apart from their footsteps, and it began to creep Larry out. Larry wisely grabbed his gun in case the attacker tried to enter the RV and he had to defend himself. He tried to be as stealthy as possible so he wouldn't alert the attacker or attackers. There is no definite clue as to how many of them are out there. He completely turned off the lights in the RV as he waited with bated breath.
They're walking around the camper.
Larry tried to get his dogs to stop growling. The dogs could sense the imminent danger. As if the situation was not already creepy enough, the attacker took it a step further. At this point, Larry was beyond creeped out. He was almost completely frozen in fear. Somehow, Larry made it through the night. At first, he was relieved, but he saw something that made him imagine the potential horror that was outside his camper the previous night. From the new position of the chair, it is obvious the attacker watched him through the night. Creepy.
Okay, this chair was over here by the table last night when I went to bed, or the last time I went outside.
Larry left the campsite, and less than half a mile away, he spotted a basic campsite with only a tent.
The guy in the truck, there was a guy sitting in a truck on the side of the road. Like a dark colored Ford or something, I think it was a Ford.
Immediately after the campsite, he saw a truck parked on the side of the road with a man sitting in it. He could not see the man properly because the man was inside the tree line. Larry was shaken by this discovery. He was camped in the middle of nowhere and hadn't seen anybody for miles, so it was strange to see a campsite near his own. The video ends with a valid warning. Always be prepared when you go camping. You never know who is out there. Do you think this was just a harmless prank from one camper to another, or was Larry in actual danger? The footsteps. In August 2023, Daniel O'Neill uploaded a video on his YouTube channel, English Woodsman. Unlike his other camping videos, this one had a disturbing twist. He was bivy bag camping in the woodlands near his home in the UK, and at first it was going all right. He was telling his viewers about the trail when he stumbled upon footprints and garbage, indicating that people had been in those woods before he came. He found a spot to set up camp, and he sat down to eat as he continued filming.
I'm going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good. Is that a badger? Hello? Hello?
Everything was going fine until about 25 minutes into the video. You can hear footsteps near Daniel, and although this was startling, it wasn't creepy yet.
There's that noise again now.
Daniel tried to identify the source of the sound. That did not sound like the footsteps of a badger. As he called out, no one answered, and this is where it started to get creepy. If you noticed, shortly after Daniel called out, the footsteps stopped. Daniel stood up to look around but saw no one. He was creeped out, but he continued his activities. He was preparing dinner when the unsettling sound returned. The footsteps returned about 40 minutes into the video, but this wasn't enough to send Daniel back home. Although he was freaked out, he sat down to continue his dinner. After dinner, Daniel seemed more relaxed. The creepy footsteps lodged in the back of his mind as he set up camp. When Daniel was ready to call it a day, the footsteps came back. This time, Daniel had run out of courage.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here.
If you ask me, I'd say he stayed longer than most people would have. Daniel hurriedly left to go somewhere else for the night. We can't say for sure what was in the woods with Daniel that night, but those footsteps sounded eerily human. In that vulnerable situation, Daniel made the right call to leave, although he should have left earlier before the sunset. Whatever was lurking in those woods did not seem friendly. Fortunately, Daniel left before he could find out just how unfriendly they were. The notes. In November 2021, YouTuber Phil went on one of his numerous hiking adventures. This time, he went on a hiking camp at his local section of the Appalachian Trail. Phil regularly uploads his hiking activities on his YouTube channel, Hike Slam, so this was not his first rodeo. He went on this adventure, thinking it would be like the others. He did not expect what he found. At this point, Phil treated the writings as a joke until he went deeper into the woods. Due to these unsettling findings, Phil abandoned the site he was initially going to camp and sought shelter about 2 miles in the opposite direction.
And there's a dead duck here. A very long note. And it looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. Alright. Kind of creepy.
Even this far from the creepy writings, Phil was still not free of notes. That is very chilling, and Phil was creeped out. He read out the words written in the note.
Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log. Alright, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. Hold on, I'm adjust the camera here. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
Maybe reading out what could be cursed words in the middle of the night was not a very good idea. While trying to calm himself, Phil heard somebody arrive at the shelter. What do you think about Phil's description of this strange man?
Packed it up very quickly. I don't think I left anything behind, and I just walked past. As I walked past, I did look. It did look like a single guy hanging out in the shelter. He had a headlamp on. All I could really see was the light from the headlamp, so I could have been wrong. But man, it was...
Does it seem like he hides sinister secrets? Or is he just an ex-convict who wants to live apart from the rest of the world? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Have you ever encountered something creepy while camping? Share your experience in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.